Welcome, everybody, to the Geek Dad Report versus the NFL. Which, actually, if you've been following my picks, it should just be Geek Dad Report versus Common Sense, because my picks have been terrible. But we're going to get into that in just a second. I'm Brian West, and today I'm going to be talking about all the Week 6 games coming up in the 2017 NFL schedule. So, small disclaimer, I am not a professional. I don't know what I'm talking about most of the time, and I'm just here to have a lot of fun. I like talking about the NFL, and I make picks for no reason other than that's who I want to pick. I've done little research. If you are a gambler, I do not recommend that you bet your house on what I say, but if you want to, let it ride on the Seahawks, man, because I'm a giant homer. If you're watching this for the first time and you're like, why is that guy wearing Seahawks stuff? Well, now you know. Hometown, right here. Go Hawks. But luckily for you guys, the Hawks aren't a bye this week, so you don't get to listen to me gush about the Seahawks. Unless you watched the game against the Rams this last week and watched the blessed, illustrious Saint Earl Thomas single-handedly beat the Colts. I mean, that play he had to knock the ball out of Gurley's hands right at the end zone. There's only 6 things in the universe that could make that play, and 5 of them are mythical creatures. There's probably a unicorn could probably make that play. Leprechaun, possibly. Definitely Hercules. But other than that, really, it's Earl Thomas or nothing could make that play. And to honor him and my beloved Seahawks and their glorious victory against the Lamb Chops of L.A., I'm wearing my beautiful Earl Thomas jersey today. Enjoy it. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, my picks this last week were not great. They were better than they have been only because there was only 14 games, so I could not go 6-10, but I did go 6-8. So for the first time this season, I am now under 500. I am 37-39, I think, if my math's correct, which isn't always, but I think it is now. So I need to go on the winning track. So hopefully my picks this week will do much better. But I would like to give a quick shout out to all of you who've been following the show. I've gotten a lot of feedback. People seem to really like the show. In fact, in particular, people really seem to like the show because they bet against me. Apparently, they watch the show and they pick all the picks against all the picks that I make, and they've been winning their pools. Which, I guess you're welcome. Not really sure how that works, but I would like to give a special shout out to all the people who reached out to personally let me know that they appreciate my show because they bet against me every week, and they are now winners. So I don't know how that makes me feel. I guess every view is a good view. But like I've said many times, I do this just for fun. So any way that you can win your pool, whether you listen to me or not, I'm just here to entertain you, hopefully, at least a little bit. But whatever. Enough about me. On to Week 6 of the NFL. It's just water. I don't know why I did that. All right, first up we have the Eagles playing the Panthers on the Thursday night football game. I hate Thursday night football. You can't predict shit. Who knows? The Eagles and the Panthers are both 4-1, super good teams. The Panthers have suddenly found their life again. Cam Newton is slinging the ball over the place, but Carson Wentz is just launching it. I think he threw like 4 touchdowns in the first quarter against the Cardinals. I'm going to say, though, that the hometown team is going to win this. I'm just going to go with the home favorites. I'm going to try and I'm trying to pick less upsets because I need to get in the win column, people. I got to get in the win column. And you can't do that if you pick 6 upsets every week. Probably not going to happen. So I'm going to go with the safe bet. I'm going to take the home team on the Panthers game. If you were betting, I would not bet this game. This one's going to be a close one, I think. But like I said, Thursday night football this year has been really strange. So because I bet the Panthers, or picked the Panthers, I'm sure the Eagles are going to win. But I'm going to say officially the Panthers are going to win this one. All right, on to the Sunday games. First up, we have the Bears traveling to Baltimore. The Bears are starting a rookie quarterback who did not play well on Monday Night Football. I was correct last week when I said the best thing about that was going to be the trailer, the Last Jedi trailer. I didn't watch it, but I heard it was really good. I did buy my tickets, though. Side note, if you're into Star Wars, tickets are on sale now. Go get them. Yeah. All right, sorry, people. It's a Geek Dad report versus the NFL. We're going to throw in some nerdy stuff. See, look at that. I got a stormtrooper right there. Look at that, picking his nose right now. All right. So anyway, yeah, the Bears, not good. The Ravens aren't really good either, but they play much better at home. Somehow the Ravens won last week despite having like 80 yards of offense, but whatever. Actually, that was Miami. All right, the Ravens actually had like 300 yards of offense and looked pretty good, and they beat down, who did they play? I don't know. I didn't do notes. They beat down Oakland. Oakland's terrible. You know what? Bears are going to lose. Ravens are going to win. They're the home team. I've said it many times. They play much better at home than they do on the road. And they played well on the road last week. So I guess I'm definitely wrong in all aspects of what I say. So almost anything I say. Apparently I don't know anything. But I do know this. The Bears are going to lose to the Ravens. It's going to happen. Browns, worst team in the NFL. I know I said that that was the Jets. I was wrong. Consider me wrong on that one. The Browns are the worst team in the NFL, and they're going to Texas to play the Houston Texans. They're going to lose badly. The Texans came off a pretty bad loss against Kansas City. The score didn't reflect it, but Kansas City pretty much dominated that game, the entire game. Houston is going to be looking for some payback. Luckily, Cleveland is the perfect punching bag. Texans did lose J.J. Watt for the season, and I think there's a middle linebacker. I don't know his name, but they lost him too. Or one of the linebackers. I don't know which one. I told you, I don't do notes. Notes are for people who are professional, not this guy. Never. No note show, ever. Texans are going to win. Cleveland sucks. They benched their rookie quarterback. They put in Hogan. I thought he was a receiver for the Patriots, but I don't know. I guess there's another Hogan. I think his name's Kevin Hogan. Hogan knows best. Hogan's heroes. So maybe the Browns are going to circle the wagon like the Buffalo Bills, and they're going to be the new Hogan's heroes. And, I don't know. They were the Browns. Hogan, you played good last week, but it's not going to matter. You play for a terrible team. Browns are losing. Texans are winning. Packers are going to Minnesota, who had Sam Bradford back for like a minute, and then he left again. God, I would love to pick the Vikings in this one. I mean, I absolutely love to pick the Vikings, but the Packers, God, Aaron Rodgers, he's just like, you give him 5 seconds left in the game, and he goes 90 yards and scores in 2 plays. Cowboys, why did you leave him so much time? Ugh. The Vikings got a really good defense, but I hate Aaron Rodgers, but I just can't pick against him. Pick against him like every week this year, and I'm losing my ass off, losing my shorts. I got people calling me up telling me they're betting against me. So I'm going to say the Packers are going to beat the Vikings. Stupid Packers. Whatever. Lions, traveling to New Orleans. They're going down. Hope they brought a whole bag of beads, because it's about to get real freaky-deaky down in New Orleans. What does that have to do with anything? I have no idea. The Saints are suddenly good again, kind of. Their defense is not as bad as advertised. Their offense is kind of pulling together. They finally got rid of the whiny running back Adrian Peterson. Shipped his ass off to the... Oh, we're going to talk about them in a minute. I'm going to save that for a surprise if you haven't heard the news today. Lions... God, tough game against Carolina. Had a shot in that one, but Matt Stafford's a little beat up. The Saints are coming off a bye, so they should be well rested. I'm going to say that the Saints are going to find a way to pull this one out at home in New Orleans. Plus the Lions, like I said, they're going to be a little distracted with Mardi Gras. I don't know if it's going on right now, but I think it's always going on. Isn't Mardi Gras? You know what? If you know that, I think Mardi Gras is always going on in New Orleans. So I'm going to say the Lions are going to be a little distracted with beads thrown everywhere and whatever. They're going to lose to the Saints. That's my official breakdown of that game. Dolphins going to the Falcons. Jay Cutler. Smoking Jay Cutler managed to get a victory last week. Sorry, I'm laughing about this one. I cannot believe. So, Miami managed to beat Tennessee with less than 200 yards of total offense. I don't know. Bad team right there. Miami's a bad team. The Falcons are not a bad team, and they're playing at home. Falcons are going to win. I don't know. I think Julio Jones is supposed to play. Mohamed Sanu is going to be out for a couple more weeks, but that should not stop the Falcons. I predict them running all over the Dolphins. And the Dolphins are just bad. Why Jay Cutler steal their quarterback? He's got like a quarterback rating of 0. All right, it's not that bad. It's probably like 67.9. But Cutler sucks. Get him out of there. Matt Moore is a better quarterback. He should be starting. Anyway, Falcons are going to win this one. Next up, we got the Patriots traveling to the Jets. So I'm going to predict that because the Patriots have Tom Brady and the Jets don't, the Jets are going to lose this game. Plus, the Patriots are 2-0 on the road, 0-2 at home. And since they're going on the road in this one, and Gronkowski hopefully shouldn't be a surprise scratch and throw people's fantasy football teams into freaking chaos. Thanks, Gronk, you dick. Got a little owie on your leg. Whatever. I could play through a freaking contusion on my thigh. But you couldn't, apparently. And you cost my team, you cost the kneel before Zods a victory. Thanks a lot. Yeah, right. I once called in sick to work because I had a hangnail, so I couldn't play through a Gronk. You're way tougher than I am. But you still cost me a victory, you jerk. Whatever. It's not your fault. Who cares about fantasy football anyway? Patriots over the Jets, probably by a lot. Tom Brady's probably going to throw 7 touchdowns. At least I hope so, because guess what? He's also on my fantasy team. Fantasy football. Making you root for people that you hate. All right. So I think I said the Patriots. Patriots over the Jets. 49ers are traveling to Washington to play the Washington Native Americans. You know what, 49ers? I've been on your flaming bandwagon for, I don't know, for 5 games. I mean, that thing has literally been on fire, but I refuse to jump off because I believe in Carlos Hyde. But you know what? Carlos Hyde, you screwed me in fantasy football this week. You got me 4 points, so guess what? I'm off. I'm out. Niners are going down. They're going down to Washington. Washington is going to beat the hell out of them. Now, it'll be a close game, probably go to overtime, but somehow the 49ers will just lose because this is what they do this year. Let's see here. Tampa Bay. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's my chance to talk about my favorite team to hate on, the Arizona Cardinals. Tampa Bay coming off a disastrous loss to New England when they should have won. Their kicker missed like 17 field goals. They fired him. He's out of here. He's gone. They brought in some new hack who will probably miss another 17 field goals. But you know what? Lucky for them, they're going to the desert and they're playing the combined age of like 500 years old between the quarterback, the running back, and 2 offensive linemen. All right, that made no sense. Let me start that again. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are traveling to the desert. Sorry, sometimes you just try and make a joke and run with it. It sounds good in your head, but then when you start spitting it out, it just sounds terrible. So, luckily I hit the reset button because this is my show. Boop, reset that one. So Tampa Bay heading to Arizona to the desert to play the old folks home team of the Arizona Cardinals. That is right. There is at least 7 members of the AARP who play for the Cardinals, and they just added another one at the ripe young age of 39 years old, and that's in dog years, people. That made no sense. He's like 500 years old as well. Adrian Peterson just got traded from the New Orleans Saints. All of you who are jumping to add him in your fantasy football team, remember, Adrian Peterson is still old as shit. And Arizona can't block anybody because 2 of their offensive linemen were around when Columbus landed in America. So, I don't know. You know what? This joke is terrible. I killed it this week. You know what? I've had better weeks of making fun of the Cardinals. All I'm going to say is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to come and they're going to take out the Arizona Cardinals. No. All right, whatever. You know, the Cardinals suck. I hate them. They stink and I hate them. Moving on. Buccaneers over the Cardinals because the Cardinals are old and they can't play anymore. And Carson Palmer is literally like a mummy. I was watching The Mummy with Tom Cruise, and it had a girl, or else it would have been him as the mummy. But if Carson Palmer was a girl, he'd be the mummy, because that's how old he is. Moving on. I don't know, the LA Rams are playing Jacksonville. Most teams that play Seattle always lose the next week, so I'm going to continue that trend, and I'm going to say the Rams are going to lose to Jacksonville, who surprisingly has a really good defense. I mean, they had 2 pick sixes and 5 interceptions off Ben Roethlisberger, and I don't know if the Steelers are better than the Rams, but I don't know. I have no reason for this other than Jacksonville's at home. I'm starting to believe in Jacksonville. I think they have a really good offense or defense, and they suddenly have a running game. The Rams have given up more yards than almost anybody on the ground, and I think Fournette could have a monster game against the Rams, and I think Jacksonville's defense is going to shut down the well, at least as of last week, the highest scoring offense in the NFL. But you know what? The blessed Seattle Seahawks and St. Earl Thomas they're probably still in mourning over that loss. Still can't believe what's going to happen. Still shell-shocked by the amazing Seahawks. So, Jacksonville's going to win that game. Home team. I don't know if it's an upset or not. Probably not. Probably is. Who knows? Steelers going to Arrowhead. Steelers are coming off possibly the worst loss. Well, Ben Roethlisberger possibly coming off one of the worst games of his career. 5 interceptions, 2 pick sixes. Team seems in just complete disarray. The Chiefs look better than just about anybody at this point. I think they're still the only undefeated team. They look amazing. This would be old Brian would pick the upset. Would say that Pittsburgh is going to go and find a way to go in and beat the Chiefs. But the Chiefs are really good. So I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to win this game because I've got to get back in the win column, which means immediately you should go bet on the big upset of the Steelers beating the Chiefs. But officially on this show, I'm going to say the Steelers are going to lose to Kansas City. All right. LA Chargers, I did call that one last week, finally on the win column, are going to Oakland to play the terrible Raiders. Derek Carr is supposed to play in this game. I do not know if Crabtree is going to play in this, but the Raiders just don't look good. It's not that the Chargers look that much better, but they're in every single game, and the Raiders just look bad. So I'm going to say LA is going to continue their trend on the right track of winning, and they're going to beat the Oakland Raiders, soon to be Las Vegas Raiders. Sure, why not? Old man Rivers, he's just gunning it all over the place. The New York Giants going to Mile High to play the Denver Broncos in the Sunday night game of the week. And it's not really much of a game, though, because the Giants didn't lose 1, didn't lose 2, didn't lose 3. They lost 4 receivers in last week's game. Sterling Shepard is supposedly coming back, but Brandon Marshall and Odell Beckham Jr. are both out for bad ankle. I think both of them have broken ankles, out for the season. So the Giants do not have any talent, and the Broncos are really good. They're coming off the bye. They're well rested. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL, and the Giants have no offense. This could be a complete and utter blowout. I'm going to say the Broncos are going to win, and they're going to win big. All right, and then finally our just unbelievably super game of the week that has just massive talent on both sides. The Colts versus the Titans on Monday Night Football. Bad game. Mariota, I do not know if he's going to play in this. He is week to week. Andrew Luck has already been scratched for this game. I'm going to say that Mariota is going to come back and play. The Colts have won a few close ones this year, and they're not terrible without Luck, but I think Tennessee... I know they lost to Miami, but I still think Tennessee's a better team than the Colts. Tennessee's got a fairly solid defense. I know they gave up a lot of points to Houston, but Tennessee's at home. I think Mariota's going to play, and if he plays, I think that'll make the difference. So I'm going to say Tennessee is going to probably win a crappy game against the Colts. So anyway, that's my picks for the week. You know what? All it takes is one good week to turn it all around for me. But if I continue to pick badly, I've had a lot of people who offered their services to come help me make picks on the show. So I'm going to be on vacation in a couple weeks, but I got to take my bye week. But maybe after my bye, I will come back with some special guest pickers to help you. Actually, they're going to come with information and actually know what they're talking about. So we'll see. If you don't want them, if you enjoy listening to me ramble about absolutely nothing and continue just to hate on the Cardinals, and I can do that as well. But possibly special guests coming on the show. As always, you can find me at BrianWest53, or you can find me at the Geek Dad Report on Facebook, Twitter, not Instagram, not Snapchat, but you can find me on Facebook and Twitter and on YouTube at Geek Dad Report. So thank you for watching. Go Hawks. Even though I got a bye week, still go Hawks. And hopefully I got a 14-0 week coming. I can feel it. All right, guys. As always, stay awesome, and we'll see you guys next week.